Hello and welcome back to another final table commentary. Today we got a 1K PKO from WCOOP 2025. We got Flair Hoove on the final table, Dom, Lena, Phyllis, Raja, Yippee, Coco Jambo, Gonza, and you got Robbed, who I'm going to refer to as Rob from here on out. Thanks to KalipokerTV Poker Replays for the replay. If at any point in time you find yourself not giving a shit for the commentary, there'll be a link in the description down below to the video and KalipokerTV, so you can go check out some more poker action in some silence as Phyllis rips in the King Jack. A big flip here, Raja going bounty hunting. Big flip on the flop still. The straight draw and the pair draw doesn't get there for Phyllis. Quick knockout, and just like that, we're down to 8 players. Raja gets a little bounty. It was about 800 bucks. So we got what? Just under 3 grand locked up now. $3,800 for 7th place. 6th place gets about 5 grand. Oh my lord, I don't know why I shout out these numbers. I hate it. We got $15,000, or about 16 grand for the victory in 2nd place. The other numbers down there along the bottom, they just don't matter. This is a 1K buy-in, and aces don't get much action there for Gonza. But a 1K buy-in, 16K for the victory, the bounties on top of it. Not too big of a prize pool, but definitely some bragging rights with the WCOOP title on the line. Got Yippee coming in for an open with the ace and the queen. So it looks like everything's working in here, so I should just quit looking at that screen. We'll look at this screen over here. Yippee's open. We'll get through pre. Rob in the big with an ace and a 4. Probably not gonna see too much action here. Coco with 6-9 on the button. I kind of like an open here. They say no siree, kind of a shitty holding. Gonza 8-7 might limp it in. That they do. Will be off to a flop. Does Rob raise? Nah, just a check back. King 10-4 flop. Not much doing here for 8-7. Some players still like a little one blind bet. Just put a little pressure on a bunch of bullshit holdings, like a queen high, maybe a jack high. No straight draw. Pair of 4s turns into 3 of a kind on the turn. Gonza quickly checks over the 8 high, giving up the little bluffski. 5 blinds in the middle. We'll slide over to Rob as they bet about a third on the turn here. Oh, they go full pot. That's a huge bet there. 3 of a kind says let's go for max value. Try and get the bounty in there too. Gonza obviously has nothing doing. Dom with 8-7 suit, ace-7 suited, opening under the gun here. King for Coco will quickly 3-bet to 6 blinds. Sorry, I've got hiccups coming. Ace-7 suited finds the call pre-flop. Very cool happening here. Jack 10-7 board, no diamonds for Dom. They got that little pair of 7s, an overcard, backdoor straight draw. Coco bets huge, 8 blinds into 14.5. Quick call by the pair of 7s, 9 on a turn, puts a 1-liner to an 8 out there. 30 blinds in the middle. Coco checks king on the river, 1-liner to a queen or 8. Top set, sees about a half pot size bet, quickly calls. What a pot there for Coco. That's a huge one. 97 blinds for him in total. Pair of 7s goes for a bluff on the river, blocking the ace queen nut straight. Don't think there was a flush out there, right? Anyways, we're going to move along. Raja with ace-king comes in for the open. 6-6 for Coco, just finds the call. Dom comes along with jack 10. Ace-3-2 flop. Pretty boring shit here. We'll see a c-bet. And might just take the pot down. 6s without a spade are in a weird spot here for Coco. Quick fold. Coco is on top of their game here to start things off. Ace queen in the big for Lena. We got 8-8 for Yippee coming in for the open. Gonza with 5-5. 5s are an afterthought. They probably just fold. Ace 9 for Dom in the small will come along with another call. Ace queen for Lena might 3-bet jam here. That they do. 8s for Yippee. Sees a couple bounties on the line. About a 33 blind jam. That's a big jam, yo. 1K bounty on the line. We'll see if Yippee goes after it. Lena could be in some trouble here with an ace being folded in the small. Yippee gets after it, looking for aces and queens. Nothing doing yet. No straight help or nothing. 5 on the river is not an ace or queen. Lena is actually Gonzo Alonzo. 60, almost 70 blind pot for Yippee. 1K bounty, and we're moving freaking along. Yippee's got that huge stack, 180 blinds. Yowza. Ace 3 for Raja will limp it in. So we lose a real strong body in Lena there. Got a pair and flush draw here for Yippee. They'll go for a one blind bet in position. The ace high calls. Finds an ace on the turn as the flush completes. Raja is in trouble here. Yippee goes for a small third pot size betish. About around there. Top pair calls. Jack on the river. Queen 10 makes a straight. But that flush on the turn is more scary if we're being honest. Then there's a whole bunch of missed straight draws. 5-6, 5-8. Some sort of like 5-3, 5-2. No, 5-2 is not a straight draw, sorry. Anyways, it could just be a random queen high, 10 high, blocking the Broadway straight. Yippee goes for a value bet with the flush, gets quickly called. Raja does lose a sizable pot there with the pair of aces. That's no good. Yippee limps in 9-5 suited from the small plane. About 95 blinds deep with Coco. 10-7, we'll check it back. And we got another flush draw for Yippee. King Jack 2 goes for a one blind bet, a little bit more. 10-7 doesn't really have a reason to hang in there. Coco thinks about it for a second though. 10 high was good. Coco folds. 4-4 for Flair Hoove. Under the gun +1, 7-handed. Just lets that shit go. King 10 for Coco. Will rip it in and take it down pretty. Playing about 20 blinds deep here with Gonza. 1K bounty on the line. They can't do nothing with 6-9 suited here. What a fast start to the final table. Dom with ace-5 will let that go. Good timing. Raja with ace-king. Ace-8 suited for Coco. 8-9 suited. Oh, I guess Yippie's got 200 blinds. They find the call. I was thinking we don't see this too often, but we also don't see a 200 blind stack too often on the final table either. Suited ace, Coco calls. Queen 10 just folds the big, which is kind of interesting. Rob getting a great price there with a very fair hand. Anyways, 6-3-2 is the board. 1 spade. Yippee does go for a small bet here. 2 3/4. Ace-8 suited raises. Ace-king quickly folds. Ace-8 with the best of it. Looking for no diamonds, no nines. Or sorry, no spades, no nines. The 2 bet on the flop will get through anyways, and what is 8-9 suited gonna do there with a little bit of backdoor equity and a couple overcards? Couple shit overcards, that is. 8-8 for Gonza, 18 blinds deep, could rip it in pre-flop. We could also come in for a min raise. Gonza elects to min raise. Queen 10 in the big, Flair Hoove just calls. We get a 10 high board, 10-6-4. Very wet, interesting spot here for Gonza with a very vulnerable pair of 8s. We're going to check it back. We might even be putting almost no pennies in the middle here with 8-8. Ace on the turn. We can check it back again. We could bet a third or something. No, why would we bet a third? Yeah, I like it. Just check it on down. Ace of clubs on the river. The front door flush gets there. Flair Hoove can value bet. And 8-8 will think about a hero call, but might just find the fold in the end. Oh, it's a very small bet, 1.8 blinds. It looks like a 10 if we're being honest. Doesn't look like a flush. Is there ever a weak ace? Maybe. Some sort of inducing size. It could even be a 6 or 4 if we're being completely honest, trying to get called by king high, maybe a pair of 3s, 2s. If it's a 6, it could be trying to get called by a pocket pair of 5s. I like the call by 8-8 in the end. Gonza sees the bad news though. Nice little value bet by Flair Hoove. The price was just too good. Gonza had to look it up. Ace-5 for Yippee will open it up and get the raise through pre. Blinds go up. 9-9 for Coco. Ace-2 suited, probably going to let that go. We got a few pocket pairs. Rob was 7-7. Flair Hoove was 6-6. Ace-2 suited will get out of there. These pocket pairs might fold. 7s hit the muck. Like, I like a jam, but if we're being honest. Now Flair Hoove does take the spot. 9s quickly call. We're looking for a 6 for Flair Hoove. That's a full house. Oh, do we got a chop out to a king? 1 out to a 4 of a kind draw. Not likely to happen, but Flair of a Hoove does pick up outs. Always a sweat, let me tell you. Coco with their full house holds. Ah, so we lose another strong body. Coco gets another bounty. That was a small one. I think it was $500, the very minimum. Oh, maybe not the minimum. A little bit more than the minimum. But anyways, very small bounty. Flare Hoove out of here. Ace-9 flopping 2 pairs. Goes for a 1 blind bet for Raja. Yippee with a whole bunch of chips. Has some backdoor straight draws. Finds a call. 10 on the turn. What a float here by Yippee. Finds a 10. Picks up a 3 of a kind draw. Sees a big hefty 4.5 blind bet on the turn. Deuce on the river. If I'm Raja, I'm thinking about an overbet jam. They go for a check. Yippee should just show this one down with second pair here. Interesting little check on the river, and the pair of 10s will check. 2 pairs will take a nice pot there for Raja. Interesting float there by the old Jack 10. Very small flop bet. Pick up a pair of 10s. You probably have to call the turn bet. It's huge though. Can you just fold the turn, making a pair? Second pair on the turn, facing almost a pot-sized bet. Sure as shit feels like you should almost fold. There's probably a few too many straight draws out there still that will make you feel inclined to call once more. And then the check on the river is very, very reasonable by Yippee. No reason to bluff with second pair, no reason to value bet. Interesting hand there. Anyways, Raja makes a pair of queens here. We got a straight draw for Yippee to the jack. No clubs out there for him. They have 150 blinds. They are going to go for about a third pot size bet. Raja will call with some backdoor equity to go along with their pair. We find a frickin' ace on the turn. Pretty rude poker stars. It's not a heart though, so Raja could just fold facing a big bet on the turn here. If I'm Yippee, I size up a river jam just in case I want to take it. 6 of diamonds as we get a check back on the turn. Surely Yippee goes for some value, but it feels very uncomfortable with the diamonds completing. We bet small 5 blinds, and the pair of queens do just hit the muck. Nice fold there by Raja. Oh, and they get rewarded with an ace and a king. Not much action though, they'll just raise. We'll see if Rob defends the big blind with 8-9. And Coco's got a whole fuck ton of chips too, 104 blinds. Holy shit, dude, they are a very strong player. 8-9 will defend covering Raja. We get a queen jack 9 flop. Both players with a straight draw to the 10. Bottom pair of 9s will pay off. Oh, what? Rob is playing a passive game here. Very small c-bet by the ace and the king. Like, it's not like one of those spots you love there with bottom pair, straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Feels like you should pay off 1 bet. Rob says, no, I'm not going to do that, Brendan. They do cover Gonza and Dom. That's pretty important to make sure that they maintain that position there. Cover them for some bounties. Did we see a queen 5 offsuit open by Coco Jambo and overbet as Raja flops top 2? They just call very wisely 10 on the turn. Coco with queen 5 had the backdoor equity on the flop. They go for another hefty bet here. 7 blinds, and this is going to size up the river jam. Check raise by 2 pairs. We'll take the pot down. Interesting play by Coco. Queen 5 offsuit gets punished. King 5 right back in there. We'll take it down pre-flop. 4-2 should not defend the big blind. I don't care how many chips we have. King Queen in the small, ace 2 suited for Coco. We could have an interesting little hand here. 2 very reasonable hands. King Queen can raise ace 2. Oh, 4 blind bet. I love to see it. Coco just calls. We get a King Queen 10 flop. No diamonds, but a straight draw for Coco. Top 2 pairs for Yippee. I go for a pretty big bet here. 3.5 blinds. Quick call by the straight draw. 8 on the turn. Yippee will go for another hefty bet, I do presume. Check raise seems too, what's the word? I don't know the word, but it's too spicy. Yippee goes for the overbet with 2 pairs and takes the pot down as they get king king. Rob with king 10 opens under the gun. Kind of a wide open, but I guess we got Gonza in the big blind with a short stack and a 1K bounty on their head. Yippee will 3-bet. Rob will quickly fold the king 10 off. Ace jack for Gonza. This looks like a spot we gotta take. Unfortunately, we might be 3 ways. Yippee opens up 9-7. Does Rob ever just fold ace 5 here? They do. They don't get too excited over a 1K bounty. Yippee will take the spot with 9-7 off, looking for 9s and 7s. Gonza should just stick it in here already with about 60%. 7 on the flop. We need ace, queen, jack, 9. 9 on the river. 2 pairs is no good. Was a jack even good? I think a jack would have gave Yippee a straight. My apologies. Very difficult to read out the board very quickly. Anyways, Gonza gets there, making the straight. Rob with 8-8 will 3-bet jam. 25 blinds. 8-8 facing Yippee's open. Ace 6 off. No, we just fold this shit, dude. Don't you dare double him up. Nice fold by Yippee. Again, Rob's playing I don't know if their opponents can know this, but they're playing kind of a passive game here to start things off. They had a queen 10 fold from the big blind, getting an absolutely amazing price. 1 blind to call into about 9.5 or something. Going 4 ways to a flop, they said just fuck that noise. And they had a bottom pair of 8s with a straight draw. Backdoor flush draw facing a small c-bet. They just let that shit go. They just said fuck that noise. Maybe it's not passive, maybe it's just reasonable. Maybe Rob's playing a very strong game and I'm just overlooking how good they're playing. Anyways, Coco's got a straight draw here with ace king. Doesn't get there, but ace king holds. Ace king high is good. 6-5 for Yippee here. No equity bluff on the turn. They bet 6 more blinds and ace high hits the muck. Nice bluff by Yippee. Not afraid of a very strong player in Coco. Ace ace for Rob will open under the gun +1, 6-handed. King 5 suited will defend the big blind with a call. Uh-oh. Queen 7-6 flop. That's a flush draw with the backdoor straight draw for Coco. Out of position. We could get this in on the flop. Aces check back the flop. What's going on here? Rob is either playing the best game in the world, but I don't get it, dude. They check back the turn. 8 of clubs on the river. Coco bets big. Rob just calls. Can you imagine if Rob folds the river somehow with ace-ace? No way. Does Coco ever just rip it in here? No, they bet 2 blinds, inducing a raise. We'll see if Rob takes the spot. Trying to get a pair of 8s to call or some shit. Rob does take the spot, makes it about 7 blinds to go as the flush did complete. Some straights get there. 10-9, 9-5, 5-4. Coco rips it in, of course, with the third or fourth best flush. There's a few straight flush draws out there. Paired board, aces call. See the bad news. Rob is out of here. 50, almost 60 blind pot for Coco with a 1K bounty. That's a big one there, back up over 100 blinds. What a happening there. So again, like I was thinking, Rob bets the flop. Coco check raises. We make it a 3-bet jam by ace-ace. Or we go to the turn as Rob queso. We got that one potential outcome, which is the check raise on the flop, call by aces, and then we're off to the turn. We're still gonna get that in at some point. What I'm trying to get at is Rob is gonna just lose all their chips no matter what they do there. So there's another potential situation where Rob bets the flop, Coco check raises, aces 3-bet jam. We call with the flush draw, backdoor straight draw. We lose with aces any which way we go about it. Aces check back the flop as they did. They could have bet the turn. Coco calls. Aces probably go for another why would aces bet the turn with the queen? Anyways, that doesn't matter. But what I'm really just trying to say is no matter which way Rob plays the hand, they are losing all their chips there. Unless you somehow check the flop, check the turn, face the lead on the river, and you raise to about 7 blinds or whatever size they went, and fold to the jam, but that feels too nitty just to let go of aces as played. King 10 will rip it in here for Dom. It's very small sizing here for the 160 blind stack. Yippee will call here with the 2K bounty on the line with about 30%. Looking for queens. Oh, straight draw. Does not get there. Flush draw for Dom there. Cut out on Yippie's outs, but straight draw on the turn. They certainly could have got there, but not this time, dealer. So Dom gets the double. They're at about 20 blinds. We got Gonza with about 11, 12 blinds. 10-10 for Raja. Off about 40. Oh, and they're going to face a very aggressive 3-bet 8-7 offsuit. Coco takes a spot. 10s quickly 4-bet jam and take the pot down pre. King Jack for Gonza. If folded to, we'll rip it in. 9-2 for Coco. They do let it go. King Jack jams and 6-4 will fold. Queen 6 Yippee opens it up. Ace King for Raja. They 3-bet jam 40 blinds, which is a little bit too many chips to probably just rip it in. Even if they went for a smaller 3-betting size, they probably just take the pot down pre, but that was very big. Ace 6 for Raja, they limp it in. 6-6 will bump it up to 3.5 blinds. Quick call by Ace 6. 7-3-2 flop. This looks like a board where Ace 6 can float. We get a small bet, and Ace 6 just folds. Riddle be that one. So I don't quite understand what's going on with some of these players, but that's neither here nor there. That doesn't mean they're playing bad. Doesn't mean anything. Ace Jack will rip it in. 6's call. We got quite the board here. Straight draw with 2 overs. Don't get there. Gonza's out of here. Coco did have the flush draw, so again they cut out some outs. That's certainly a board where Ace Jack could have got there. Not this time though. Coco gets another bounty and another 1K bounty. 4-3 offsuit will rip it in for about 15. Take the pot down pre. King 2 suited Yippee will open and take the pot down pre. Ace 7 Coco will open. Ace 5 suited for Dom. Will be tempted to 3-bet jam. That they do. 13 blinds, 2K bounty. Coco goes hunting. That's a good board for Ace 7 to hold. Looking for a 5 and we don't get it, dude. Ace 5 out of here. Was there some chop outs too to a 6 or 4? Yes, there was. Anyways, Coco gets another bounty. 2K this time. Raja with Ace King will open and take the pot down pre-flop. 8-4 for Coco. Will raise, take the pot down pre, I do presume. Nah, Queen 6 can defend, and Coco doesn't even open the 8-4. How silly do I look? 2-2. Coco opens. Queen Jack just folds the small. 8-3 is not a defending hand. We're moving on along. King 7. Raja doesn't open the button here. We're playing 40 blinds deep. I wonder if Yippie's an aggressive player. Not too familiar with their game. Ace 7 for Coco just gets a walk there. Ace 8. So like I wonder 8-6 on the button here. We're playing about 120 some blinds deep with Coco. 40 with Raja. I feel like opening 8-6 offsuit there if we're being honest. We're playing very deep here. Anyways, Coco will make a pair of 8s. Looks like they went for a big raise pre-flop and got a defend out of the big. Raja quickly folds the flop there. Ace Queen opens 6-10. Defends the big blind. Flops a straight draw. Turns another straight draw. 10-9, 6-5. Or the overbet. Raja, sorry, not Raja. Yippee elects to go for the overbet and takes the pot down there. Ace Queen hits the muck. Jack 7 will limp it in. 5-4 raises to 4 blinds. Jack 7 quickly calls, flops quite well, but there's a flush draw for Coco who checks it on back, and an 8 on the turn pairs the board. Yippee with top pair and the straight draw bets 2 blinds. Coco in position will call, and we'll see a river card here, dealer. 3 of diamonds, bingo. Coco gets their 12.5 blinds in the middle, and they'll face another small bet on the river, I do presume. 4 blinds. What is this, like a third pot? Coco will raise to like 20, maybe a bit bigger. Not 20 even. Yippee will think about a hero call. A 4-bet bluff is absolutely ridiculous, but would work, I think. I don't think it would happen too often, so that's why I think it would work. Coco would just be like, what the fuck, dude? Did I really just get myself in a pickle here with 5 high flush? Jack 8, 9, 8. Better flushes. I'm just wondering, can we turn top pair into a bluff there with a straight blocker? That probably doesn't matter much. I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's much more likely that Yippee just calls and sees the bad news, which that they do. We get a little break, and I'm going to go for a little pee. Coming back from break, we get an open from Yippee. Jack 10 from the button, and they take it down pre. King Jack from the button. Coco's getting after it. Jack 6 will defend the big. We get an ace 3 flop, a 1 blind bet, and Coco takes down the smallest of pots. Jack 10 limps it on in. Coco 9-4-0. Some players like to raise these shit holdings here. Just put a little bit of pressure on your opponent pre-flop, a little bit of more believability on a flop bet or turn bet. Coco says, fuck all that noise. 9-4-0, we check it back pre. 5-2-2 flop, we check it on back. Queen on the turn. 9-4 checks it on back. 8 on the river. Some players elect to go for a little bet ski on the river, try to get a 10 high or jack high to fold. Coco again says no sirree. 7-5-0 will raise to 3.5 blinds. Raja with queen jack suited will defend the big. We get a queen 6-5 flop. That's a bottom pair, 3 in a row. Coco bets 2. Quick call by Raja, who makes 2 pairs on the turn. Coco bets another 6 blinds. Raja in position should just call here. Got plenty of draws, but yeah, call is great. 10 of clubs on the river, so the flush misses. Some straights get there. Coco with a pair of 5s. Gives it on up. Stack to pot ratio right around 1-1 on the river here. Raja will rip it in and surely just take the pot down. A pretty sizable one at that. 7-5 eventually lets that shit go. King. Coco opens it up. 8-10 in the big. Yippee will just play call. Raja with queen 2 will eventually get out of there. King 10-4 flop. Coco with top set. Goes for a 1 blind bet on the wet ass board. Yippee will pay this off. Don't think we have a great reason to raise it up here. Yippee calls 6 on the turn. No equity picked up for the pair of 10s here. There's actually no straight draws they could have picked up. No flush draws they could have picked up. So the only thing they could have made was 2 pair or 3 of a kind. We see this huge overbet, 13 blinds into about 7 by Coco with top set. Beautiful play, not going to get rewarded in this instance here. 8-10 suited, Raja will open the button. King 4 is almost a 3-betting hand, not quite King 6 suited. Yippee finds the call pre, we get a King 3-2 board. No diamonds out there, Raja with no backdoor straight draw. We'll still probably go for a C-bet, looking to take the pot down. Goes a 3rd sizing. Yippee with the toppest of pairs will call. Flush completes on the 6 of spades turn. Raja gives it on up. 9 of diamonds on the river. 8-10 has no showdown value, but doesn't have a great reason to bluff. Yippee with the toppest of pairs could go for a little bet here. They actually go for a 6 blind bet into a pot of just under 9 blinds. Going for some value, maybe buy some pocket pairs, queens through 10s, maybe a pair of 9s or some shit. Anyways, we're moving on along. Queen Jack limping it in for Raja. Queen 5 checking it back. We get an Ace King 6 flop. Straight draw bets 1 blind. Yippee Says my queen high could be good here. Not in this instance. Calls in a 5 on the turn. They make a pair of 5s. Not going to be easy to hang in there if Raja continues to bet. They go pot size. Yippee with that little pair of 5s. Queen high could have been good on the flop. Could be good on the turn. Yippee says, yeah, I'm out of here, dude. Nice play by Raja. Queen for Coco. Another strong pocket pair in the big. We'll raise to 3.5 blinds. Yippee with just 9-5. We'll fold. 6-8. Again, it's one of those spots where you almost want to open it up here. Coco covers us in the small blind there. Yippee elects not to open. Queen 5 will raise big. 9-7 suited defends the big. 10-4 3 flop with 1 club. Raja with some backdoor equity checks it on back 3 on the turn. Queen high is best, checks it once again. 4 diamonds on the river. Double paired board. Coco with the queen high will take the pot down. 9-2. Coco is aggressive as fuck, but this is a shit holding. Yippee will get a walk. King 10 for Raja, opening it up. King 3 in the big. We'll see what Coco elects to do. 8-7 calls the small. Coco just folds. Jack 2-2 flop. Third pot size bet on the paired board. No draws out there, and Raja takes the pot down. Jack 6 suited opens a quick 3 bet by 10-9 from Coco in the small blind. Very aggressive play here, and Yippee has to fold the Jack 6 suited surely. Nice little steal by Coco. Jack 6 suited a hearts their turn. They open it up from the button. 6-5 in the big. Yippee plays call. Ace Queen 9 flop goes C bet fold. We're moving along. No way 6-5 does anything here. Yippee eventually finds the fold. Ace King, Yippee limps it in. 8-5 quickly checks it back. We get a Jack 9-9 flop. Ace King checks. 8-5 backdoor straight draws. 8 highs no good. We'll go for a little bet ski. Bet 1 blind Coco. They go way in the tank. Do we ever just start things off with an overbet? No, we check. We don't take the aggressive line. 3 on the turn. Ace King checks once more. Probably going to hero call if we're being honest. Coco checks 10 on the river. If I'm Ace King, I just check call and hope for the best. If Yippee bets, it's kind of interesting. Is it like a value bet, hoping to block bluffs from bluffing? I don't know, man. Ace King bets 1.5 and takes the pot down. Yippee opens Ace 4, flops a straight draw to the deuce. 9-7 flops top pair for Raja. Sees an overbet, a big bet. 6.5 into about 5. 9-7 calls, and we get a queen on the turn. 18 blinds in the middle, 30 behind. Raja has that 4 diamonds. I'd go for another bet. They find it about half pot, and a pair of 9s just folds. What a bully play by Yippee there. Feels like 9-7 has to hang in there for a few bets if we're just going to call the flop, but in the end it's a nice play by Yippee, bringing them back over 100 blinds. Queen 9 defends the big. Ace 2 flopping bottom pair will C bet. Yippee with some backdoor equity. Goes for a check raise. You love to see it. 8.5 blinds, punishing the C bet here by Coco Jambo. They're going to call 3 of hearts, or 3 of diamonds, sorry. 3 of diamonds on the turn, completes the flush. 22 in the middle. Coco has the nut flush blocker. Yippee bets another 8 3/4. This doesn't feel like value if we're being honest. Like strong value. Ace 2 calls 8 on the river, double paired board. The 2 doesn't matter anymore, but ace high is best. 40 blinds in the middle. Yippee surely has to fire another bet. No, we give it up, dude. We give it up. Coco shows down ace 2 and wins 40 blinds. I don't know what ace high does on the river facing a big bet, as queen 8 suited rips and takes the pot down pre. So we got 40 in the middle. We bet small on the turn. Should we only bet like 24 blinds on the river there in Yippie's shoes. Ace high might find a hero call. I'm just thinking, what's a reasonable size? We got like 90 behind, 40 in the middle. We don't really want to just bet 40. Anyways, king 10 rips it in. 9-8 calls. King high board pretty well locks. Oh, straight draw. 7 does not come on the river. That's a full house there for Raja, and they get a full double. 10-9 offsuit, limping it in. 3-2 for Coco in the big blind. Checking it back. 10-7 2 flop. Interesting shit here. Top pair bets large. 1.5 into 2.4. Coco with backdoor equity to go along with that bottom pair raises to 5 blinds. They are in some trouble here. Juicing the pot, hoping to buy it right here and now. 10-9 calls, of course. Jack on the turn. 12.5 in the middle. No equity picked up for Coco. Looks like that's the last bit of pennies they will put in the middle, right? Jack of clubs on the river. The flush completes. 3 blind bet. Maybe we pay this off with a pair of 2s. Although a bluff looks beautiful. Pair of 10s can't really call if you raise huge. Nice fold by the pair of 2s. Coco says, yeah, no way this is good, and I don't really want to try to bluff you off a pair of 10s right now. Nice little play by Coco to let go of the 2s. Finds a pair of 7s here. That's no good as Raja has the toppest a pair of kings. 10 on the turn doesn't help Coco at all. Big 8 blind bet into 11.5. Coco is going to have a hard time letting go of this one. 10 on the river. 25.5 blinds in the middle. All the draws brick, and the pair of kings check and take down a nice pot. Raja right back in the game with 60 some blinds. 10-8. Coco gets right back after it. Jack 4 for Yippie. I would just fold this pre. Let it go, Yippie. They say no siree. Queen 8. 5 flop, middle pair. Coco could check. Seems like they'll go for a bet though. They go for lots of C bets. Middle pair will be included in there, I do suppose, if we're going to C bet a fuck ton. Coco takes the pot down there with that little betski. 10-7 opens the button. 3-3. Coco calls the big. We get a Jack 4 flop. Interesting little hand here. We got backdoor straight flush draw going for a small bet. And 3s check raised to 6 blinds. Quick call by the 10-7 suited. 6 on the turn. Coco checks it on over. 17 in the middle. What's going on here? 9 on the river. Raja does not get there, but the spades do. 10 high. Surely has to bluff, right? 6 blinds. Coco might sniff this one out. No, they don't. Nice play by Raja. They take down a big pot with a small bet. Very nicely done by Raja. I thought Coco was going to be a non-believer in that instance. They say, no, I'm out of here quickly with the 3s. King 7 limps it in. 8-3 checks it back. We get a 6-4 flop. Yippie bets 1 blind with the 8 high. King high quickly calls. Sees the good news. King of diamonds on the turn. 4.5 blinds in the middle. Yippie doesn't have a way to win the pot without betting. Ace of hearts on the river. If I'm Raja, I really like a check call, but they go for the value bet themselves. 3.5 blinds and take the pot down. Jack 10. Raja opens 8-4 suited. Defends the big. We get a Jack 8-5 flop. 1 heart. Coco's got backdoor equity out their ass. Middle pair of 8s. Raja with the top pair will go for a C bet. Probably just a call by Coco here. Ace of clubs on the turn. Not what either player's looking for. Might go check. And an 8 on the river. Good news for Coco. They make 3 of a kind. There's plenty of missed straight draws. We'll go for a big bet and get called by the pair jacks most likely. We can't even go for an overbet here. 10.5. Coco might go bigger. Oh, they go smaller. 6.4. Quick call by the jacks. Interesting little happening there. I thought Coco was just going to go huge. They say nope. Still trying to get called by worse here, Brendan. Ace Queen opens. Coco defends from the small. Jack 8 suited. 6-5 from Raja in the big. Also comes along to the King 7 2 flop. 2 hearts. Got a free 7 of clubs on the turn. Ace Queen still best. Coco's got that flush draw. They might bet. Pick their own price instead of having to pay whatever either other player would elect to bet. That doesn't matter. Coco checks. 6-5 is done with the pot, checking it on over to the ace queen, who checks it back, and we see the ace of hearts on the river, so Coco makes a flush top pair for Yippee. Nice check by Coco. This is nasty. Ace queen value bets here. What? Yippee checks ace queen. Coco says, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? The flush gets no value with the nastiest river card. Holy shit, nice check by Yippee, dude. Says it's going to be tough to get paid off by worse, and we could get bluffed off the pot. Going to get check raised a lot. I still think a small value bet at the very least needs to come in by ace queen. Yippee was right, though. Anyways, we're moving along. Yippee's got top pair out of position. I didn't quite see the action here. It might have been a flop bet. Call, of course. 3 on the turn. Goes check, check. Deuces. Gonna fold to the small value bet on the river. No! Coco tries to sniff out a bluff here with 2-2. Flush completes. There's maybe some missed straight draws in there, but Coco's wrong this time. 6-5. Yippee not gonna play that shit. Jack 2 suited in the small. Come in for a raise to 3.5 blinds, and Raja will call king 9 flop top pair. Coco gives it up. Good timing. Raja bets big, and Coco can just fold here with a backdoor straight draw, but not much else. Ace king suited in the big blind facing the limp will raise to like 3.5, 4 blinds or some shit, depending on what strategy we really want to go with here. Jack 9 will come along to the ace 10 6 flop. Da-do-do-do. Not enough backdoor equity there for Raja. They just quickly fold facing the big bet. 8-6 moving along. We'll limp it on in. 6-2 forced to see a flop. King 4-4. Yippee checks backdoor straight flush draw. Uh-oh, we both make a pair of 6s on the turn, but that doesn't really matter as this is a chop pot. Coco can go for a small bet once. Check 2. Try to get called by ace high. Maybe 5s or worse. Pocket pairs. Another 4s. Turn goes check, check. Surely somebody bets here trying to get called by worse. The other player just calls. Right? Not Coco says, fuck you, dude. We're going to raise it very small. At the minimum, actually. And a quick call by the other, or the same boat, I suppose. And they chop it on up. Queen 5. Was that a limp? Yes, it was. 9-8 checks it on the king. Jack 6 flop. Jack on the turn. Not much doing for either player. 3 on the river. Queen high is best in a check down pot for Coco against 9 high once more. I think Queen 5 was the other hand Coco had as well in that instance. Wins with Queen 5 offsuit in a check down pot. Very interesting. What does it matter? 10-7 open-ended here on the 9-8-2 flop. Yippee with the backdoor straight draw 3 in a row. We'll just check fold out of position. Jack 10. Raja opens the big. Ace 9 suited in the small. We'll play call, I do believe. Almost a 3-betting hand, but not quite, right? Yippee says, nah, this works for me. Ace 9 suited, 3 bets, and takes the pot down pre. King 3 out of there. Coco with 4-4 races to 3.5 blinds and just takes the pot down pre-flop. Jack and a 5 in the big. Waits patiently. Sees a limp by Raja. Personally, I just check here. Raja says, yeah. Yippee, sorry. Yippee raises it up. Interesting board, obviously. 9-8, 6, 2 diamonds. Yippee with a straight draw to the 7. And diamond draw over card. Raja makes 2 pairs on the 7 turn. So that's a straight, dude. It's the dink end of the straight. Any 10 makes a straight. Jack 10 is the nuts. Got a flush draw to boot. The full house draw does not get there. 2 of spades on the river. There's actually a lot of Jack X that might go for a bluff on the river here. 2 pairs is going to think about a hero call is what I'm trying to get at. Raja. Man, we lose to any 10, any 5, a better 2 pairs. Once you talk it out, it's interesting. It depends on what you think of your opponent, and I thought Yippee would be bluffing there too much Raja quickly just folds, not making their full house. Says the two pairs are not good here, and they were correct. They open ace-5 from the button and take the pot down pre the next hand, 6-5. Don't think Yippee opens. They do. They do. Yippee opens 6-5, 10-4. We'll call the big blind. We get quite an interesting board once again. 7-4, 4 flop. Goes check, check somehow. 3 on the turn. Yippee makes their straight. 3 of a kind for Raja. Bets 4 blinds into about 5. Yippee should raise here. Oh, they fucking just called 10, or sorry, Jack on the river. That's not a 10. There's no full house. Raja checks over 3 of a kind. What is going on here? There should be some more pennies in the middle somehow. Yippee bets large. Raja might just call, facing a huge bet. 17 blinds into 13. I think we just call with 3 of a kind, and Raja loses the minimum there. Straight versus 3 of a kind. Anyways, Raja down to about 27 blinds. Big pot for Yippee, bringing them into first place. 7-6, limping it in. Coco with the king and the queen. Suited and booted, might raise it up. Could just check it back and see 3 cards. Coco says no sirree, we raise 3.5. Get a quick call by the connected holding. 9-4, 2 flop. Coco c-bets 2 blinds into 7.5 and might take it down, right? 7 high with a little bit of backdoor equity. I wonder if a raise is the play Yippee was thinking about there as they went in the tank for half a second. We'll never know. Blinds go up. King 6 suited, my favorite holding in the world. Limps it on in. 9-4, checks it back. 8-5, 2 flop. Goes check, check, 3 on the turn. We both got straight draws here. 9 high versus king high. Coco checks. Almost a pot-sized bet here by the 9 high with the straight draw. 10 on the river. Coco's hand holds up, and 9 high for Raja checks it down and loses. Ace king for Coco. They will open it up, yes sirree, and take it down pre. 2 blinds is their size. Yippee covers them in the big with jack 2 offsuit. Don't even do it, Yippee, just fold. A 3 bet is so suicidal. They say nope, I'm not gonna do it. They're feeling happy with their life here today. And then we got a couple of ace 10s. We're probably going to get this in pre-flop. 6-2. Coco will get the heck out of the way. 7 blind 3 bet. Quick jam. Quick call. We're looking for some flushes. Oh my lord, look at all the hearts, dude. Any more hearts? No. No. Raja survives, but had a big sweat. Queen 10. Yippee opens it up. Jack 9 suited. We'll call the small. Jack 9 off. Completes the big. 7-6-3 flop. Coco leads. Jack 9 for Raja folds. Queen 10 will float. A 4 on the turn. Would be nice to see Coco continue to bet. They don't have any equity. Looking for a jack or 10. They check. Sorry, a jack or 9. Jack or 9. No straight draw. Coco gives up the little bluff. Yippee doesn't have a great reason to check it down with little showdown value with queen high. No draw though. They go for a hefty bet, 7.5 blinds, and somehow Coco hasn't folded yet. We got a 1-liner to a 5 out there. Coco eventually lets her go. 8-2, not gonna play. Ace 4 might get a walk here. Yes, it does. Yup. Jack 5, Yippee, open limps. King 10. Checks it back, flop and top, paired. 10-2 is the board. I like a check here by Coco. Just tough to get paid by worse. They bet 1 blind. Jack 5 will get the heck out of there. 9-8 opens the button. 3-5 suited, defends the big blind, and we got a straight draw to the 6. 9-8 goes for a C bet. 2 on the turn, so Raja's open-ended. Ace or 6 and a 3 or 5 are live. We see another bet, hard to pay it off here just with a straight draw and 5 high. Raja lets her go, and we're moving on along. And another strong pocket pair for Coco. Yippee, if they're super aggressive, we'll 3 bet here. You just play call, ace jack, 4 flop, 3 spades. Coco C bets and takes the pot down. Yeah. Not much doing for the kings this time around. Ace-3 suited. Yippee can raise. They can limp. They go 4.5 blinds. 9-6 might just fold facing that size. Yeah. So we got 10.5 grand locked up. About a 5 grand ladder to second place, and then bounties on top of all that. Will get exciting. Coco bets top pair here. Another lead, I guess. Did 8-3 limp the fucking button? How's 8-3 offsuit playing the hand from the button here? This is why I don't look at the payouts, because they just don't matter. And Yippie's got a pair of threes. Ace on the turn goes check, check. Coco can go for some more value here. Try to get called by worse sixes and threes. They check, and 8-3 checks. I don't know how 8-3 ended up in the hand, but it looks like they opened somehow. I don't know, man. 8s rip it in here for 11 blinds. Coco probably pays this off, going bounty hunting, looking for queens and jacks. They find a bunch of jacks. A deuce on the turn gives Coco the full house. Raja is gonzo. Alonzo, another bounty for Coco. Get a GL by Yippee. We'll see if Coco shows him the respect as well. I always hate it kind of when the other player's silent, when player shows some respect. Sometimes some players are just a little late with the message, but I think it's a little disrespectful if you don't say GGGL, you know? Just show your opponent a little respect. That doesn't matter at all. Coco with not much doing here. Did not pick up a straight draw, no siree. Jack high will fold 2 pairs for Yippee bets and takes the pot down. But yeah, no GG or no GL by Coco is disrespectful. 6-5. Gotta open it up. 3-5 defending the big blind. Get an ace king 2 flop. It's a straight draw versus 6 high. Coco bets about half pot. They do have backdoor equity. Clubs. Backdoor straight draw. Yeah, they call by 5 high. 6 high versus 5 high. You don't see this too often. 9 blinds in the middle. 9 on the turn. Coco doesn't have a good reason to check. They bet 11 blinds. It should just buy the pot. 6 high goes for a big bluff. No reason for 5 high to call. They could check raise somehow. Very unlikely. There's the fold. I don't know. Is that a nice play by Coco? They took down a big pot with 6 high. Not a big pot, sorry. They took down a pot with 6 high. You should be pretty ecstatic about that. 3-2. Yippee is getting it after it here. We got an ace jack 6 flop. Middle pair for Coco's. He's a nasty king of hearts on the turn. Completes heart draws and some queen 10. 10 on the river. 1 liner to a queen. 3 high has no showdown value, but does not put in a bluff. Pair of jacks for Coco takes the pot down, and we got ace jack versus ace ace. So we'll get an open and a 3-bet and probably just a call. Ace jack could think about a 4-bet bluff, but then we fold to the 5-bet all in. We'll see how Coco elects to proceed. Ace jack. Very reasonable calling hand here. We get a king 10-9 flop. Straight draw to the queen for Coco. They got a reason to hang in there. Small flop bet. Or is it going to be pretty big on a dynamic sort of board? Yippee says, I'll give you a fair price, dude. 5.5 blinds into 16. Coco will float here in position. Jack on the turn. We got queens and jacks. Although the queen is a chop pot now. 27 blinds in the middle. Queen on the river. How fucking reasonable, Poker Stars. 1 liner to the ace. There's a straight on the board. Both players with an ace. Aces are going to be quite pissed off here. Yippee deserved to take down a 27 blind pot here, if we're being honest. They go, for a 36 blind bet. Coco will rip it in. Or do the min bet. All in by ace ace. And what do you know? Ace jack calls, and we both got the nut straight. Although there's a straight on the board, so you never know if somebody's getting after it there. Heads up poker, you don't have to have the ace there. Would have been interesting. Anyways, it's not like Yippie's going to, what, 3-bet bluff for 15 blinds on the river there? Anyways, we're moving on along. Heads up poker is interesting. Top pair goes for a hefty bet. King high calls 4 on the river. Some straights get there, but some straights were already there, such as the old 7-5, 7-10. Coco Jambo bets 14 into 11 and takes the pot down there. No more value. King high's out of there. King Queen. Opening it up. Ace-8 suited quickly. 3 bets, and I think we have another calling hand here. Coco says you're getting after it. Last time you showed me ace-ace. I think it's just a calling hand. Coco finds it. Ace-Queen-10 flop. Interesting. Coco doesn't have a spade, but we at least have to see a turn card here with middle pair and the straight draw to the jack. Another small bet here by Yippie with the toppest of pairs. Gotta say, I kind of like how they're playing. It's just, I think I would have went for a bigger bet. Like, it's 4 blinds into, like, 16. A quarter pot size on the Ace-Queen-10 flop. That's spicy, and we get a dry 3 of clubs on the turn. 16 blind bet by Yippie, and King Queen can think about a fold. Some players get sticky. We'll see what Coco elects to do here. In position, I kind of lean towards a call, but I like a fold as well. Heads up poker. Coco says, I think we need to call once more. Get a 3 on the river, pairs the board. No more kickers in play. We just got aces and 3s with the queen kicker. Queens and 3s with the ace kicker for Coco. Goes check on the river, and a nice pot slides over to Yippie, putting them in first place. King Queen. Coco will open. 6-3 suited will defend the big blind. I don't see too much 3-betting here. It would be very interesting with 6-3 suited. Oh, we do see a very reasonable call. 9-8-3 is the flop. All diamonds. 4 1/4 blinds in the middle. Coco could just check this one back. They say, nope, I am going to bet 1 blind, and bottom pair is going to be in a pickle. They quickly call, though. Queen on the turn. It's another diamond. And another diamond on the river. So we're chopping this shit up. Another chop pot. 6 blinds in the middle. Unless somebody bets and the other player folds. We do see a bet out of Yippie. 5.5 blinds into 6.4. Coco says, I don't really want to call for a chop, but a raise would be cool. Coco says, I will just fold. Nice little steal by Yippie. Jack 6 opens it up and takes the pot down pre. 8-6 versus 8-7. Ba-da-ba-boo. Coco opens 2 blinds. Yippie calls. Queen 10-9 flops. So we got a straight draw to the 8 for both players. I think there's some other straight draws. Ace-6 for Coco, and no, just the jack for Yippie here. They see a hefty bet and still find the call without a heart in their holding. They got the biggest of hearts where it matters most, though. Ace of hearts on the turn. Very interesting. Coco with the flush draw to go along with their 8 high and straight draw bets once more and should just take the pot down. This is just a snap fold in my opinion. Somehow Yippie has not let go of 8-6 yet. Straight draw to the jack. That would put a 1-liner to a king out there, and we check raise somehow. 29 blinds and we get 8-7 to fold. What a play by Yippie. I do not understand, but it works out as blinds go up. Yippie being a bit of a bully there. Nice play by him. 4-2. Yippie gets a walk. Good news. Holy shit, what a play by Yippie on the turn there. Check raising. No heart in their holding. 8-6. A straight draw to the jack. And again, it puts a 1-liner to a king out there if it gets there. Heart's already completed on the turn. It's like, what are we doing check raising? 8-6 in that spot. I don't know, but it works out. Is 10 high best here? 10 high is best. 9-4 for Yippie. Doesn't have a reason to bet. Checks it on down. And 10 high takes a pot. Small one though. 8-2 for Coco. Personally, I fold. We'll see if they get after it here. Coco says, no, we will just let that shit go. Yippee gets a walk with another shit holding, and then they raise 5-3. Queen 9 defends the big blind. Queen 8-3 flop. Goes check, check, ace on the turn. We got 2 flush draws out there. Pair versus pair. Yippies is awful. They check and make 3 of a kind, though. Coco is going to at least pay off a bet here. Yippee with 3 of a kind will bet quite large, I do suppose. Maybe even over the pot. Just pot. Quick call by Queen 9, and Coco sees the bad news. So Yippie's playing good and running like hot, or running hot. It's hard to beat that. Coco opens King 5 suited. Yippee will 3-bet Ace King suited, and another weird spot for Coco. They could call, play in position post flop, and they flop the flush draw as they do call pre. They could have also 4-bet bluffed pre-flop there, which would have been disastrous. We get a half pot size bet by Yippee with ace high. Jam by Coco. Does this take the pot down? Does Yippee sniff this one out here? We are pretty well flipping. Yippee the slightest of equity favorites. No way, the game's over, right? Yippee goes in the tank. It's about 38 to call into a pot of what would be 109. That's tempting, dude. We got a 5k bounty on Coco's head. I'm almost thinking about flicking in the call just on the off chance that it's a flush draw. There's also some pocket pairs that might do that you're obviously behind. And 10x as well, obviously. Maybe it is a good fold by Yippee, even though we could see Coco had the flush draw in this time around. Anyways, Ace King folds. 9-6 goes for a check raise here on the Ace 9-3 flop, and Yippee hasn't folded 8-5 with a few backdoor straight draws till they use up most of their time bank there, and then they fold. Or I guess that's not time bank. Pre-time bank? What the fuck do you call pre-time bank? How don't I know? I don't know, but wow, what is it called? Pre-time bank. 9-4 off. We'll open it up. 7-2. We'll let that shit go. Surely. Yippee takes down another one. Oh boy. 5-2 suited opens the button. Ace Queen can think about a 3-bet, and then 5-2 can get sticky. We're never going to 4-bet. Folding is probably best. Coco does just let that shit go. 9-8. Yippee opens King 5 off. Coco is not afraid of nothing. Quickly 3-bets to 8 blinds. 9-8 will think about a call. Yippee does elect a call. Ace 7-3 flop should just go bet fold. 4 blinds into 16. 3 in a row for Yippee in position. If they call, they're going to have to put in a bluff on either the turn or river. Queen of hearts. Coco slows down. No equity picked up for Yippee. 24 blinds in the middle. Feels like we have to bluff, dude. Can't really just show down 9 high. 2 of hearts on the river. Surely somebody bets and the other player folds. King high checks. Yippee can't check here, dude. We just can't check. We're gonna lose to so much shit. The thing is, what can we get to fold? We probably have to bet pretty big. Try to get a pocket pair to fold. Some sort of jacks or worse. All in is the size. 2x overbet by Yippee as the flush completes. You gotta bet big, and Yippee found it, and they get king high off the pot. I wasn't expecting an overbet, but I was thinking like at least 18 blinds or more into 24. And maybe even closer to 20 blinds or more. You need to put a lot of pressure on some weaker holdings. Just single pair hands. Yippee says, dude, I will just rip it in and take the pot down. 8-6 opens it up, flopping a pair of 6s on the king queen 6 flop. Yippee bets small. Coco with ace high just lets that shit go without a club in their holding. Ace 9, Coco will open. Yippee probably just calls king 10 here. And I think at some point Coco might switch to a limping strategy, which will depend on their stack size, so that's something to keep in mind. Ace-9 with the backdoor nut flush draw goes for a big C-bet here. 8-4-2 is the board. King-10 with 2 overs and the backdoor flush draw will float. We get a 5 on the turn. No flush draw for either player, but a straight draw for Coco. Ace-high is best, and we get another club. 4-8 clubs on the river. It's like either player could try to rep the clubs here. 6-3, 6-7 make straights. 11 blind bet by Yippee, full pot size. Excuse me, and Coco quickly folds ace high. Nice steal by Yippee. Holy. 8-7 opens, Jack 10 will defend the big. We get an ace, king 8 flop. Yeah, Yippee has played a very, very good heads up game here. 8-7 bottom pair somehow bets full pot. We got a straight draw to the queen for Coco. They do call 6 of hearts on the turn, so we got a flush draw out there. There's some lower straight draws, 9-7, 10-7. I'm just wondering why Coco even called the flop there, if we're being honest, facing that full pot size bet. I think it was just bottom pair going for that huge ass bet, but that's not always easy to sniff out in that situation. So Coco had a straight draw and 2 overs. They call the pot size flop bet. Fold on the turn. Yeah, I suppose, man. That's a lot of hearts out there, and a pair of 5s is best, which turns into a straight on the 8 river. Get a very small bet by Yippee, and if I'm Coco, I just click the call button here. Any 6 makes a straight. I don't think we try to raise to get value from it as well. Yeah, the jack with the best, second best straight, I guess. Queen jack made a better straight. There's 4 hearts out there, dude. No way a straight raises. Pair of 4s. Yippee bets about half pot here. Pair of 9s for Coco. Personally, I call, but we've seen before Coco check raise middle pair. They find 3 of a kind on the 9 of diamonds turn. 7 of diamonds on the river. Coco bets pot and 4-3 probably calls here. All the draws brick. I'm 4-3. I find the call. A raise doesn't make much sense to me. We're not trying to get a queen or 7 to fold. Pair of 4s does find the call. Nothing Yippee can do there. King 10 getting a walk. 8-7 opens it up. 5-3. We'll see if Coco defends. Very close spot here. 5-3 offsuit. Coco says yes, let's go to the flop. 9-5 4-3 clubs. We both got the club draw, and Yippee turns open-ended looking for a 6 jack. 7-8 work, and clubs work as well. Yippee bets 5.5, and that will make a pair of 5s think about folding, but we got the flush draw, so we probably call. Queen of clubs on the river. Yippee gets there. Coco with a very, very shitty flush, but a flush nonetheless. What do we beat? Some sort of like 6-7, 6-8. So we don't have those cards. That's good news. The 3, does that matter? I don't know, man, but Coco like snap folds there. No value for the better flush. That's very cool. I was thinking that Coco was going to have to pay off a river bet there. They say no. Yippee with jack 8 will open the button. King queen will come in for a 3 bet to 8 blinds. Yippee will think about a call. Never going to 4 bet jack 8 offsuit here. I would just fold. Yippee says, dude, I'm thinking about a 4 bet. Makes it 16 blinds to go. Coco calls out of position. We get a 5-3 2 flop, 2 spades. Coco does have backdoor spades. 2 over cards. Stack to pot ratio right around 1-1. 38 behind, 32 in the middle. Yippee bets 7 3/4. Can Coco even float here? They do when they bang off a king of spades on the turn. So Coco is not losing this hand here. They aren't folding to a bet. Question is, does Yippee blast off? They say no. 7 of diamonds on the river. Coco's king. Do we go for value? Do we just jam here? Try to get called by like queens, jacks, 10s, 9s, 8s. Coco says yes, we jam, and we take the pot down as we get another break, and we'll be right. Alrighty, coming back from break. Coco's got 5-5, jack 7, Yippee will call. We'll see 3 cards dealer. Just kidding, we'll get a 3 bet and then a call, right? No, a rip all in, and we won't see any cards. Dealer Jack 7 gets punished with their wide 3 bet. Coco takes down a little pot pre, and we got ace 3 versus ace 3. Jack 5-5 is our board. Backdoor flush draw. Yippee bets. We both got a backdoor straight draw into ace high. We have the same hand, dude. Not much to be said here. 9 on the turn goes check, check. 4 on the river goes check, check. 6.3 blinds gets chopped up. 8-3. Coco lets that shit go from the button. And we got ace 5 opening it up, and king 8 will think about a 3 bet and probably call. Ace queen jack flop. Backdoor royal flush draw, immediate straight draw to the 10 for Coco. Oh, fuck me, both players have a Broadway diamond card in their holding, so there will be no royal flush. Top pair for Yippee bets. Gets a call by the straight draw. 9 on the turn. 5 of diamonds on the river. 2 pairs. Obviously the flush gets there, but if Coco bets, this will get paid off quickly. 8.6 into about 11. I don't think Yippee raises, but they're gonna think about it, I suppose. Surely it's just a call. There's like, oh, Yippee raises to 30 blinds. Just like, what is there? Like queen 9, queen jack, jack 9. Like a few worse 2 pairs, but not going to be easy to get paid off there. Maybe some sort of ace 10. Not really going to see ace king ever. It was just a single raise pot pre, I'm pretty darn sure. Ace 10 might even think about a 3 bet pre-flop. I don't know, man. Tough to get paid off by worse there with top and bottom pair when the flush completes, and some straights get there as well. Queen 2 with the bottom pair, bets in position. King 5 will float, find a pair of 5s. 3 on the river, puts a 1 liner to a 4 out there. Pair of 5s, bets 1.5, and this is a disrespectful bet. Coco just folds the pair of 2s. 3-4 opening the button. 6-2, I would fold. Coco says I might play. 50 some blinds deep. Coco will let that shit go too. Queen 5, Coco opens the button. 10-8 defends the big blind with a call. Ace King 4 flop. Coco c-bets and takes the pot down. Not too exciting. Big bet though, that's always interesting to note. Not much for 8-10 to do there. They did have a backdoor straight draw, but Yippee says, yeah, I'm done with this one. Ace King will open, 7-6 will call. We'll see 3 cards dealer. Last time I said that there was a 3 bet, but anyways, this time we do get the 3 card outcome. Queen 6-3 is the board. We got a pair versus 2 overs and backdoor equity. Coco eventually checks it over. We get a small c-bet, 1.2 blinds into 4 1/4. Coco calls. We get a 9 of spades on the turn, bringing in nothing for Yippee, but they still got 2 overcards. Ace King has showdown value. 8 of clubs on the river. Not as much showdown value. Kind of some bluffing potentials with that ace of clubs in our holding. Coco checks over the 6 and Ace King does just show it down and loses. 10-4 suited opens. Queen Jack will call. We'll see 3 cards. Nah, just another 3 bet by Yippee. They are getting after it, that's for sure. Not much 10-4 suited can do here. Coco has to fold. Well, they don't have to, but they did elect to. There's not much 10-4 suited can do facing a 3 bet pre. It kind of has to fold, you know. Just how you word it doesn't mean it literally, I suppose. Pocket pair opens, takes a pot down pre. 7-6 will open, and 2-2 will defend the big blind. Do-do-do-do. Get a call, good shit. A E6-5 flop. Middle pair for Coco goes for a half pot c-bet. 2s will think about a call, but gonna be tough to proceed on turns and rivers, providing we don't make 3 of a kind. We get a jack of spades, so the flush is flush draw still out there. Turn goes check, check. 9 on the river. 8-7 made a straight. This will just go check, check with these 2 holdings. Right, no way a pair of 6s goes for a value bet, trying to get called by a 5 or worse pocket pairs. We show it down and win. Ace 5, Coco gets a walk. Ace King, Coco opens Queen 5 suited, the same suit. We'll call, we'll see 3 cards. Jack 4, 3, backdoor flush draw for both players with backdoor straight draws in there. Coco bets 2 blinds in position. Queen 5 probably calls. We could see a check raise too though. There's the check raise to about 6 blinds. Coco gets a great price to come along, although they are not happy with the action. 2 on the turn is juicy. It's not a heart though. We both got a straight draw. 5, 6 made a straight. Feels like Yippee has to continue to bet here. 12.5 into 16. You love to see it. And Ace King finds the fold. Beautiful play by Yippee. 10-6 will open it up. 9-5 will defend the big blind. No, Coco says I am folding and looking for better cards, dude. 5-4 opens it up. King 3 will think about a 3-bet, not suited and booted. I do kind of lean more towards the 3-bet, hoping to get our opponent to fold. 8 blinds is the size. Nice play by Yippee here. 5-4 suited will call, saying I have a great hand to call and play post flop out of position. King 7-5 flop. Bad timing to call the 5-4 suited pre-flop. But we are going to have to pay off this small flop bet here. 4 blinds into 16, 1/4 pot. Maybe even a little bit less than that. 5-4 calls another king on the turn. Bad news for Coco, man. This is a good card to call once more, but Coco's shown the proclivity to find the correct folds. We'll see what the hell happens here as Yippee checks over 3 of a kind. Does Coco bet small and check back the river? You can bet like 6 blinds here. No, we just checked the turn, and I don't think we put in any more pennies on the 8 of diamonds river. We will see what the hell happens here. Yippee surely has to value bet, right? Heads up, poker, 3 of a kind. Some straights get there. The flush gets there, obviously. Yippee bets 12, half pot. Nice fold by Coco. I was kind of thinking, man, once we check the turn, we might be able to just fold the river facing a bet. Coco correctly lets it go again. 9-7 suited facing an open by 3-7 suited. Oh no, and 3 on the flop. Holy fuck. Coco's not running the best. Playing a damn good game. Ace 3-2 board. No clubs. We check fold. 9-7 of clubs. Coco hasn't folded yet. Are we thinking check raise somehow? I don't know, but 9-7 of clubs does not like that board. Nope. Coco eventually lets her go. Ace 2 suited opens it up. 5-4 will call the big blind ace. That's not an ace, dude. 10-8-4 flop. Goes check, check, 7 on the turn. We got a straight draw to the 6. Bottom pair for Yippee. They bet 1 blind. Ace high will think about a hero call. Coco once again correctly folds. This time it's a very small bet, but you don't want to bleed out to your opponent. Queen 9 opens it up and flops top pair. Coco with a backdoor flush draw, a backdoor straight draw in there as well. 2 blind bet. We have to do something. They go for the check raise. I wasn't expecting this necessarily. Coco says we'll make it 6 blinds to go. Yippee calls. 7 on the turn. Hard to continue blasting off with the ace 3 here. There's 16 blinds in the middle, but I do really like a give up by Coco. Nice, they check it on over. Queen 9. It's kind of scared here. We might go for a small bet, check the river. Unimproved, of course. If we somehow make a full house, we are not going to check back the river. Queen 9 does bet 6 blinds and takes the pot down. Coco is down to 28 bigs. They are in a little bit of trouble here. Ace 7 suited. Yippee opens it up. 7-6 will defend the big blind. King 4 2 flop. Not much doing for Coco. Out of position. Going to be very difficult to hang in there facing any flop action. Although a check raise with backdoor straight draw is super cool. Not going to happen this time. Queen opens it up and we might not get any action. Jack 5 for Yippee. Coco is running poor. No, we face a 3-bet, but Queens will 4-bet. Queen's call. We get a King 8-2 flop. I can't take a sip of Gatorade just quite yet. Jack 5 goes for a small C-bet. 3 blinds into 13. Coco calls 3 on the turn. No equity here for Yippee. 20 in the middle, 16 behind. If Yippee bets, we have to call with queen. Queen as played. Heads up poker is a fun game. Look at this. Jack 5 checks it on over. I really like a check by Coco, but there's 2 flush draws out there. Ace of diamonds on the river. Nasty run out. Nasty board for queen. Does Yippee ever blast him off the pot here with a bluff? Jack of diamonds is a very appealing card to rip it in here with. Queen with a diamond. Can we still hero call with another overcard coming on the river? We face the jam. We'll see what Coco thinks about it. Man, I want to see a hero call. What a damn shame. Coco's played a great game. Gets the worst run out. Sees the bad news. Oh no. They face the jam on the river and fold the queen with the diamond blocker. They are in some trouble here. About 14 blinds left. 10-4 goes for a c-bet. King 7 doesn't have a great reason to hang in there. Queen 3-2 is the board. We don't have a spade, and Coco folds once again. What a damn shame, dude. But what a performance by Yippee, if we're being honest. Just to step into the battle with Coco Jambo. Very, very well-known player. Very competent. Kind of put on a show thus far. King 2 opens it up. Queen 5 defends the big blind. We get an ace 9-5 flop. Yippee smells blood. Bets 1 blind. Bottom pair with the backdoor flush draw. At least has to call. Queen on the turn. Good news for Coco fans. 2 pairs. We'll see if Yippee goes for a big bluff. Don't lead Coco. Good. We check it on over. King 2 doesn't have a great reason to bluff here. No, like maybe a bluff on the river, but on the turn here, there's plenty of straight draws and flush draws that are just going to call our bet here. We bet real small. Coco check raise jams. Coco Jambo living up to their name-o. Check raise jam. No, they call king on the river. Doesn't it go check? Yippie's just got a pair of kings. Jack 10 made a straight. Do we ever jam try to get called by a queen? Coco's going to show him the 2 pairs. I would have checked jam the turn. Our opponent would have folded. Yippee makes a pair of kings. They just check it on down, and Coco doesn't get the maximum value. I don't think there's a way for us to get any more value any which way Coco went about it anyways. Ace 10 opens it up. 7-5 defends the big blind and flops quite freaking well. 8-6-5 is the board. Both players with the backdoor diamond draw. Coco in position with the better diamond. 2 overcards. They check it on back and a jack on the turn. No diamond draw for either player. Pair of 5s bets 1 blind. Coco floats. 9 of diamonds on the river. Is it a float if it's a turn bet? Not too sure about that. Doesn't matter. We got a 1-liner to a 7 out there. Diamonds get there, and we got a 1-liner to a 7. Coco bets 3.5 and a quick call by the straight. Whoa, I would have expected a little bit more action there by Yippee, but they say no, we go for the check call. Interesting. They did get a bluff out of Coco in this instance, so that's a win for them. 7-5 facing a limp raises to 3.5. Coco takes the pot down pre off of like 10 blinds. That's a spicy play. Maybe they had a little bit more than 10. Closer to like 12 or something. Whatever. King Jack suited opens it up. Flops the flush draw on the queen. 2-2 board. 7-3 off. No diamond. Yippee check raises to 2.5 blind somehow. A quick 3-bet to 4. Surely we just fold 7 high. No draw. Yippee does get out of there. Coco fighting back. Queen Jack suited facing the limp. Raises to 3.5 blinds once again. 8-4 will fold for Yippee. Jack 5 versus Ace 5. Coco opens. Ace 5 will think about a 3-bet jam. We don't have to take it. Yippee says, I will though. And we'll take the pot down pre. Ace Jack. Happy to get this in pre-flop. We limp. If Coco raises to 3.5 blinds, we jam. 6-2 wisely checks it back, and a queen 9 flop. 2 spades for Coco. Ace Jack is still best, of course. We bet one blind. Weird spot for the little flush draw. We call and a jack on the turn, so our pair draws no good. If the bet's big enough, we almost just fold the flush draw on the turn here. 3.3. It is close. Coco check raises. This is nasty. I was thinking, do we fold? And then I was like, in my head, I was like, I think we should call. Coco check raises to 6 blinds. Ace jack will 3-bet jam, and Coco has to fold the little flush draw. Very spicy but cool play. Ace 4 rip, 6-5 suited. We'll think about a call here with fair equity. Coco has that 5K bounty on their head, and 6-5 says, no, I'm not going to call. 6-5 is never good there, but whatever. Jack 8 rips. Isn't this about a 10 blind jam? 9-4 will happily fold. No way Coco calls here. Yeah, they're out of there. 10.5 blinds. Jack 6, we can almost jam. Some players take the spot. Coco says, no, not me, dude. Ace 5 suited. We're going to get this in pre versus Jack 9. Jack 9 rips. Quick call. We looking for jacks and 9s. Ace high board. No. Ooh, straight. No flush draw. Both players drawing to a club. No straight draw for Yippee. Pair of aces holds up for Coco, and we got King 9 suited. Ace 2. We jam. Yippee might call here. Yippee says no. That raggedy ace doesn't love a call. It's much better to rip it in yourself. Yippee does wisely get out of there. King queen will get it in versus ace 6. We flop a 6. Uh-oh, Coco is looking to double up. No king or queen. They're back in the game with 37 blinds. Can you imagine if Coco makes the comeback? Ace 3. Coco will open it up 10-7. Defends the big blind. Oh, it's a limp pot. So Coco's changing it up. We're playing 37 blinds deep. 10-7 raises to 3.5, and a quick call by Coco. 9-7-6 flop. Middle pair for Yippee with a straight draw to the 8, and Coco's just got one overcard. They see a third pot size bet, and they will call, and we're off to the turn. Alright. No, Coco says, I am done with it, dude. He's got a pair. I am not paying off a bet there with ace high. Jack 8 suited opens 10-9. We'll call. We'll see 3 cards. King 6. Yippee in position. One spade out there. They can go for a little bet. One blind. And take the pot down. 10 high. Doesn't have much of a reason to call. Coco says, I've got plenty of reasons to call. 5 on the turn. Spade draw for Yippee. Jack high is best. We got 6.3 in the middle. Got another hefty bet here by Yippee. 5.4 and 10 high. Eventually lets her go. 9-6 suited, we open it up. Interesting, Coco switching up the pace. They're back to a raising strategy now. King 5 will 3-bet to 6.5 blinds. Coco has a calling hand. They say, no, I don't, Brendan. 9-6 suited hits the muck. 3-4 opens it up. King 10, Coco finds the call. We're off to the flop. Ace 7-2, straight draw in position. Yippie's going to bet, and King 10 is going to have a hard time hanging in there. We probably call the flop bet, but it depends on what the turn brings us. We are going to find out quickly. Feels like you have to float here with King 10. We do call and a 4 on the turn. Yippee makes a pair. If they bet again, they'll take the pot down, I do believe. It's an undercard. Some straights get there. There's a few more straight draws. There's flush draws out there that we don't block. King 10 is a tempting hero call. 5 blinds is juicy. I don't really want to pay it. King 10, Coco says, I don't want to pay it either. We fold. 4-4, I open, face a 3-bet and jam. You could limp, face a 2-bet and jam. Coco chooses the latter. There's the 2-bet, 3.5 blinds. We jam 25 and take the pot down pre. Nice play by Coco. King Jack versus Queen 8 suited. We get an open and a call and a King Jack 7 flop. Not quite enough for Coco here. If they face a big bet, they fold. They face a 1 blind bet. I think we call or think about a check raise. Coco says we just call with this backdoor equity. 3 of spades on the turn. Flush draw doesn't want to see a huge bet, that's for sure. But we're probably going to face it. 5 blinds into 6.3. I thought it was going to be bigger, but this is still an uncomfortable sizing here for Coco with their flush draw. There's a few worse flush draws that might do this. A jack on the river. Full house. I would overbet jam. Maybe we'll just take the pot down here. Do we ever bet like 12, try to get paid? Nah, just a jam. Makes a lot of sense. Full house rips. Queen 8. Coco lets her go. 21 blinds deep. 3-3 versus 8-10 off. Open rip and take it down pre. Excuse me. 8-4 facing the open. 7-5 for Yippee. I was wondering if that one's going to be a fold, and Coco says yes it is, dude. 8-4 off. We let that shit go. A7. I like an open. Coco might limp. Don't think we just rip it in here. 2 blinds is the size by Coco. Quick call by 10-7, and man, we find a 10 jack 10-2 flop. Coco checks it back and a 7 on the turn. That's 2 pairs versus third pair with the best kicker. 8 of spades on the river. 2 pairs gonna have a hard time getting paid here. 1 liner to a 9. Flush gets there. We bet 3 blinds. Does Coco ever bluff with that ace of spades in their holding? Nah, but they still pay off a bet and see the bad news. 10-4 versus 5-4. We get an open and call. I don't know, man. This is a stupid spot. 5-4. Coco says, I'm going to let that go. 7-5. We limp it in. 8-6. Checks it back. King 10-6 flop. And Yippee makes another pair. We got 3 in a row. Coco Jambo with the backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. That's 1 blind in position. Bottom pair will call. We're off to the turn dealer. 7. Good card for Coco there. King on the river. No reason for Yippee to bet. We'll see if Coco somehow sniffs out a value bet here with a pair of 7s. Try to get called by a 6 or an ace high. 3 blinds. 3.5. 3.25. I think he's going to find it. 2.4. Quickly gets paid off. Nice little bet there by Coco to scoop a few more blinds on top of what was in the middle. Queen 2 opens it up and takes the pot down pre for Yippee. Queen 7 versus Jack 7. Limp pot. Yippee is flopping quite well. They got a straight draw here. They've had 1 blind. Looking for a 9. Coco with a straight draw to the 9. Queen high holds up on the King River. 4.25 blinds scheduled to slide over to Coco's stack, but Yippee's got the betting lead. I like another bluff here by Yippee. Probably going to fold the Queen 7. Not this time. Yippee checks. Coco actually has a pretty good reason to bluff. Queen high doesn't necessarily have a whole lot of showdown value, and Coco says, yes it does, Brennan. Yes it does. I can show this down and win, and that they do. 7-4 opens it up. Jack 4 folds. Jack and a 4 for Coco. Folds the button. Yippee with the Queen 5 gets a walk. 10-4 opens. Jack 7 calls. Queen 8-5 flop. Not too much doing for either player here. Not too much doing, no siree. Yippee bets 1 blind in position with a 10 high, and Jack high has a good reason to fold because it's got nothing doing here but some backdoor straight draws. Jack high was best. Coco says, I'm out of here, dude. 10-6 opens. Queen 6 defends the big blind with a call. 8-5-5 flop. Both players with backdoor straight draws. Coco bets 1 blind in position. Queen 6 says, I dominate some stuff that bluffs on this flop, dude. We call. We get a 7 on the turn, so we both got a straight draw to the 4. A 9 would give Coco the best of it. They bet 3.5 blinds. Queen high is best for Yippee. Did we ever check raise here? We do check raise and we take the pot down. That's horrific news for Coco, but they were behind still. They just don't get to realize any of their equity. 2-5, limps it in, 6-4, checks it back. We get in ace 6-4 flop, 2 pairs. Straight draw for Yippee to the 8 or 3. Got 3 spades out there as well. Yippee bets the turn, 1 3/4. Coco has to call here. They just say, I'm gonna fucking get it in, dude. I rip it in and deny Yippee their equity. Blinds go up. Coco at about 11, 8-5. Just folds and king jack suited gets a walk. Ace 8 and ace 4. We get this in pre for 10 blinds. Yes, sir. Jam and a quick call. Looking for 4s and hearts. Chop potentials out there with a 9 or 5. 7 on the river is clean for Coco. I think maybe even a 10 or higher was a chop. There's plenty of chop opportunities there, and Coco gets the full double as Jack 2 suited opens it up. Queen Jack will rip it in. Oh, we call and see 3 cards. 6-4, 3 is the board. All hearts. Coco bets 1 blind with a straight draw to the 5. Queen Jack, no heart. Calls somehow. 5 on the turn. Coco makes their straight. 1-liner to the 7 or 2. 3 hearts out there. Got a free Jack of Hearts on the river. Does Yippee bluff here somehow? I don't know what we do with Jack 2. Lose to any heart, any 7. Yippee bets 1.5. Feels like we have to call that small bet, and Coco sees the good news. 3-5 opens. King 8 suited. Calls the big blind. Jack 10-9 flop. Straight draws for Coco. Gets a free 10 on the turn. Does Yippee ever find a way to bluff him off the pot here? Doesn't make a pair. 2 on the river. Everything misses. Yippee just shows down the 5 high. Very interesting hand. Check it all the way down to the river. Show it down. I've got 5 high. I lose. King 6 opens it up. King Queen. We'll think about a 3 bet here. What size do we go? 6.5. Coco 4 bet rips, and King Queen will think about a call. Coco could be in some trouble here, or they could get a full double. 27 blinds. Oh, we got 55 in the middle. We are looking for a 7 or a 6, dude. We do not find it. That is a straight for Yippee. They make the nuts. Coco, I love it. King 6 suited, my favorite hand. They end up losing, though. King Queen finds a call. After they built up this nice big 27 blind stack, they did a great job of battling back. But we'll see where Yippee started this bad boy off at. Oh yeah, him and Coco, they just started this thing off with 2 big stacks. Coco got a fuck ton of bounties. Yippee ends up getting the last one, the one that matters most. But I suppose that's the end of the show. So shit, if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this bullshit out. Hopefully we'll see you in another video. If you got any comments or suggestions on improving the show, fire them down in the comments below. And until next time, adios amigos.